that should be it for that colour. Next we are going into our fur colour, which will be Rhinox hide. Okay, and no, I don't have much of this left. But we'll go in, make a start up here. And we'll go over the areas that look like it should be fur. At least I'm thinking that's what it is. It does look, it doesn't look like scales. It looks like hair or fur. I'm going to get a more detailed brush because this splays out too much. I don't want this going everywhere. In fact, I might cover all of these areas here with this colour, but I'm going to I'm going to concentrate more on the arms and everywhere else first of all. I will be using a wash on certain parts of this because I think it would give a better look than paint, a more transparent colour. And once again, I'm going to shut up and play some music while I'm painting this, because it does take time, and as I said, I don't want to make it too long and boring a video for you. Now, as you can see, what I'm doing here is blending some of the brown into the green by simply just dry brushing over some of the scales, so you can't see where there's a natural or where there's an unnatural change in the colour. Most of these creases won't do it that way. It just makes it look a little more natural. And what I've also done is I've painted all the head, because I plan on differentiating between the fur, or what looks like fur on the model, with the snakes, and we'll do that with highlight with different colours. And I'm also going to paint all of the whatchamacallit, the arms. By arms I mean the armature of the wings, They're like fingers rather than arms, but painting all of those in the brown and then highlighting up later and doing the actually wing membranes as a wash. Once we've done this, we can look at highlighting, not highlighting, washing the wings. Once we've washed the wings, however, we'll not be coming back to the Mini, so we're not going to be doing this straight away. When I say not coming back to the Mini, I mean not doing any more than Mini once I've done the what's the word I'm looking for? Once I've done the wash on this one, give it time to dry before we come back to it any further. So that's the wash is the last thing I want to be doing in this stage. Next thing I want to do is the manacles, and then we'll wash. So the manacles we'll do in our usual metallic base coats, which is Warplock Bronze, when I can get my hands on it. Where is you hiding? Oh, you're there, right under my nose. No, right under his wing. Warplock Bronze, that's the one we're using. Again, we don't need a great deal of this because there's only 2 manacles and 2 chains, but this is a fairly large-ish area of the Mini. Probably the smallest area of this Mini, but it's but for other Minis it is a large area, so I'm going to put a bit down. And I'm going to use this brush just to get it on and cover the main or the largest area, and then we'll come back with a smaller brush just to tidy up a little bit. There we are. Wash that brush out and then come back, as I say, with the smaller brush to tidy up. You know, use the right tool for the job. If you've got a big area to do, use a large brush. If you've got a small area, use a small brush. No, don't. The idea is, if you need crisp, precise, brushwork, then you don't want a brush that you don't want a 4-inch brush. You know. sometimes I feel as though I'm talking as though people are idiots, but I'm trying to help people who are new to the hobby, not so much the more experienced painters. I'm trying to give advice and help to anyone who probably has never painted before and who has come to this video for the sake of seeing how I'd painted a larger mini. And when you're used to painting small minis, the large ones can be quite daunting, but it's the same process near enough. You just use a bigger brush. The details are much more prominent and you can see them better. I'm going to add a little bit, just a little bit of this onto the scales to give it a little bit of a shine. Not all that much. I'm using this colour rather than silver because it will blend in a lot more. We are coming back to highlights later on. This isn't a highlight colour, it's just me being possibly a little bit silly. You may not see this. It comes down, but it might give just a hint of shininess to certain areas, which might make it stand out. We'll find out when we've finished the mini whether it works or not. It's an entirely optional step. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. There we are. That will do the job. Okay, so that's the base coating of all of it done. All I want to do now is quite literally wash the wings, and once that's done we're going to leave it to dry, and then when we come back to it we'll get highlighting. Haven't decided how I'm going to highlight this yet. It might be interesting. But let's crack on with washing. Now the wash I'm going to use isn't that one. I don't want that one either, or that one, or that one. I'm sure I had tell me I don't have one. Oh heck. There we are. The slightly paler brown colour. Where are we? Reichland Flesh Shade. Have a little bit left. Hopefully I've got enough. I thought I had a bigger pot than that. Oh well. I should have enough for this. I will just paint it on. It's a reddish brown colour. I'm going to paint it all over the wing, even the areas that I've done green. So just make sure everywhere is covered. Don't leave any grey showing. If in doubt, go over it again, just to be on the safe side. Because with this effect you get one shot at doing it, and if you've messed it up, that's it, it's done. So just be very, very focused on what you're doing and very, very observant. The one thing you don't want is for the washed pool. There we are, that's that bit done. Next, as I said, I want to try and do a little bit of a design in the snake skin area, and for that I'm going to use a little bit of Carolberg Crimson and a little bit of, is it down? It says down here. A little bit of Agrax Earthshade. Now, as I said, this might work, then again it might not. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it does, but I'm going to add just lines of different colours in bands. And I'm not going to put it exactly the same place right across, because I don't want it looking as though it's all one piece, and I also don't want it looking as though oh heck, never knocked me. Wash over. What's look like a natural colouring rather than painted on. So don't allow this at all to pool anywhere. Now we'll just add little bits of little stripes here and there. God, I'm hoping this works. You can hit, I don't know what Ali's doing, but she's laughing away in the background there. She's hiding away in the bedroom while I'm doing this. So, as I said, just going little bands of colour on this. I may not use the Carolberg Crimson, but there again, I'll see how it looks. Once this part has dried. I don't want to use it straight away, for the simple reason is I don't want both colours merging into each other. So hopefully I can get it where I can show a distinct difference in pattern. And normally I do when I come to highlight will be just to what's the word I'm looking for? And just put a dry brush over the top with a paler green colour, and that should hopefully enhance this wash design even more. And I'm not being too specific where I put it. I'm just thinking there's a bit of space there, I'll put a band of colour there. That's all I'm doing. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I've given it a try. And there may be a better way of doing it. I'm hoping it does work, because I've not done anything like this before, and it would please me to see it succeed. But as I say, I'm going to be going over it anyway with a dry brush, so I can just do a heavier dry brush to try and disguise any areas that haven't worked as well as it could have. There we are. So that's it for this part of the video. I'm going to do the Carolburg Crimson. I'm going to see how it looks afterwards and then do the Carolburg Crimson, but I'll be doing that off camera because the one thing I don't want to do is take up any more time showing you the same thing. I'll just do the same effect, but using the Carolburg Crimson in between the bands of the brown that I've just applied. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to take it up once it's dried. I'll do that bit, and then once I've done that bit and it's fully dry, I will come back and we'll start on the highlighting. I have forgotten to do this part of it, so let's remedy that before we do anything else. I'm just doing little bands of wash here and there. We started on this one and didn't follow through. There we are. And that is that. So as I say, I'll let that dry. I'll see how it looks, and then I might apply the Carolburg Crimson. And once that's dried, we'll come back and we'll start highlighting. But that is Typhus base coated. When we come back, as I say, we'll highlight. Until then, well, I'm not finishing the video, I'm just going to edit it as is. So I'll see you in a sec.